Have you ever had an employee who just isn't performing? I'm pretty sure the answer to that is yes. And it means you're torn between showing grace and keeping standards high because you want to be kind, but you know you also need results. And that tension is real, especially when you want to lead like Christ. So today we're going to talk about how to handle underperforming employees using biblical principles. And you're going to balance compassion and accountability. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here we talk about faith, leadership, and practical wisdom for Christian professionals. If you manage people, you're not just the boss, it means you're also a steward. And God has entrusted you with people, time, and resources. And that means you're accountable for helping your team succeed. So I'll share 4 principles to help you handle underperformance with grace, truth, and responsibility. The first principle is lead with love, not frustration. It's easy to let disappointment shape how we respond, but love can change the tone. It keeps the goal focused on restoration, not punishment. I once managed someone who kept missing deadlines, and I was ready to act out of frustration, mainly because it was extremely frustrating. But after praying, I realized they were overwhelmed, not careless. So we reset expectations and built in some accountability, and within weeks, performance improved and trust grew. As leaders, our goal isn't to protect our comfort, it's to shepherd the people God has entrusted to us. And that's the heart of stewardship. Before we have that hard conversation, it's always useful just to stop and pray. Something simple like, Lord, help me see this person the way you see them, because that can really change everything. Principle 2 is speak truth with grace. So here's the thing, grace doesn't mean lowering standards, it means delivering truth in a way that builds rather than breaks. And Jesus modeled that perfectly, full of grace and truth. When you talk to an underperforming employee, be clear and specific, not harsh and not vague. Say something like, I've noticed reports have been late 3 times this month. Let's talk about what's getting in the way and how we can fix it together. As managers, we're looked to for clarity. Ambiguity just wastes potential. So when you communicate directly and respectfully, you honour both the person and the trust God has given you. Principle 3 is build accountability and growth. Accountability isn't unkind, it's biblical. Even Jesus gave his disciples clear assignments and expected to follow through. In the parable of the talents, each servant was entrusted with something very valuable. They were expected to multiply it and give an account later, because that was stewardship. God gives us people to grow not by ignoring problems, but by setting clear expectations, providing support, and checking in on progress. And here's something I've done in the past with an underperforming workmate. It was after a performance conversation, I scheduled a 30-day follow-up, and we agreed on measurable goals, and I let them know I was there to help, because it showed I believed in them, but also that improvement is essential. Stewardship means multiplying what we're given, helping your team reach their potential as part of that sacred trust. And you know what? It didn't work out with that teammate, so I learned and applied Principle 4. Principle 4 is trust God with the outcome and lead with eternal perspective. Look, the honest truth is there will be times when you've done everything right, you've led with love, spoken truth with grace, set clear expectations, and still nothing seems to change. And that's when your leadership becomes an act of faith. Proverbs 3:5 reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You can't control someone's heart, only God can. Your job is to be faithful in how you lead. His job is to work through the outcome. Leadership rooted in faith means lifting your eyes beyond performance reviews and quarterly goals, because God measures success differently. The people under your care aren't just employees, they're souls he loves. You're shaping how they experience his character through your leadership. And when things don't go the way you hoped, your response still reflects Christ. And sometimes that means patiently walking with someone as they grow. And other times it means prayerfully releasing them into a role where they can truly thrive. Romans 14:12 says, so then each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. That includes how we lead those entrusted to us. So keep your heart soft, your integrity steady, and your confidence anchored in him. I've had moments where I wanted to fix everything myself, but over time I've learned when I release the outcome to God, he often does what I never could. And sometimes he restores that person, but other times he redirects them. If the right step is to let someone go, do it with prayer and compassion. The way you end that working relationship may speak louder about your faith than anything you said in the good times. Remember, your leadership faithfulness is never wasted. God uses your integrity as a testimony to your team and to your own heart. So lead well, act wisely, and then trust him with what happens next. So let's recap the 4 principles. 1. Lead with love, not frustration. 2. Speak truth with grace. 3. Build accountability and growth. And 4. Trust God with the outcome. Remember, as a manager, you're a steward of people and performance. Stewardship isn't just about money, it's about managing what God has placed in your hands, and that includes your team. Managing well is not just a business skill, it's a spiritual responsibility. If this message encouraged you, tap like and share it with another Christian leader. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these principles do you want to grow in right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. And remember, lead faithfully, love deeply, and manage as a steward of God's trust.